You may have seen people make this dress on social media and, of course, make it for a lot less than the price tag of $9,950. But I wanted to do my take on it, making it a little bit more wearable and using a thrifted tablecloth. Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. I picked up this tablecloth at an estate sale. I think it was like less than $2, but it was wrapped in plastic, so I didn't like look at it before I bought it. And it is covered in stains. I've soaked it in OxyClean, I've done stain removers, everything. I can't bleach it because it's not white. It looks lighter on camera, but it's actually kind of a ivory cream color. It's got more yellow in it, but it's got these stains all over it. And I love the pattern of it though. It's got these little raised kind of dots in it. It's really pretty. It's got this scalloped edge all the way around it. And I want to make, the plan is to make a really pretty like dress with a ruffle at the bottom. I've seen several people I follow on Instagram doing dresses like this. Yeah, see, there's even like a red stain. But since it's stained so much, I thought I would try dyeing it. Now, I have no idea what this is made out of. I'm pretty sure it's not 100% cotton. I have a feeling that it's got some polyester or something in it. But I'm gonna try to dye it black. I think a black lace dress would be really pretty. I have some black poly cotton broadcloth. I can use it as a lining. So I'm gonna try and see what it does. Now, I put it in the washing machine and just kind of washed it so to get out any residual like stain remover or something that might be in it, and left it wet. So now we are just going to grab the dye and dye it. All right, so I've just got a stainless steel pot. I'm gonna put on the stove, get it to boil. I am using the Rit dye for synthetic because I don't know what this is made out of. I'm thinking it's probably got some synthetic in it. I don't know. Again, this could be totally wrong. But I'm just gonna follow the instructions on the back. Do what it says. You have to do it basically on a boil, a hot water, and then you add a little bit of dish soap to it, and put it in there for 30 minutes to an hour. So we'll see how it does. If I have to go get a different kind of dye, I will. But we're gonna try this one. All right, so I've got my tablecloth in here, and this pot really isn't big enough, but it's the only thing I have. So Rit dye is non-toxic, so I'm not worried about using like a cooking pot or something like that, although this pot I really only use for like dyeing and stuff like that. But as I said, it's the biggest pot I have, so it's gonna have to work. But I've got my teaspoon of dish soap in there, the dye, stirred it all together, and I'm just gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes. It did say that the water has to maintain like 200-degree heat, so I've just turned it down to like almost on low there, and I'll check it periodically just to keep it hot. I guess that's one difference between the synthetic dye and the regular dye, is the synthetic has to be used in very, very hot water, boiling. But I mean, so far it's taking the dye extremely well. I guess we'll just see how it lasts. So I'm just gonna leave it for about 30 minutes. I'll probably come in every 5 minutes or so and stir it, because it is on the heat. I don't want the bottom of the fabric to like burn in the pot. So I will kind of stir it periodically. And then if the water stays hot enough, I may go ahead and like turn the heat off after about 15 minutes or so. It should stay pretty hot after that, but we'll see what happens. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes and it looks definitely black to me. So I'm just gonna take it over to the sink and rinse it under hot water, and then rinse it under cold water, and then wash and dry it, and we'll see what it turns out. All right, so it's a day later, and this is how my lace turned out. Again, it looks lighter on camera, but it's actually like a deep charcoal gray. It's not really black. Because here's my lining fabric, and you can see that there's definitely a difference. Now, does it look bad? No. You know, to do the gray with the black under it, it doesn't. Is it what I was going for? No. So I'm going to try to do this again. I'm going to use the regular Rit dye for cotton fabric, or like natural fibers. And then I'm going to use a fixative. I'm going to dye it again. Cross my fingers. It can't get any worse, can it? Yeah, we'll see. Success. It worked. It is now black. It is pretty close to the lining color, and I love it. So evidently, which I should have known, it would have been mostly cotton. So I am going to go lay it out. I've already got my pattern pieces, and let's see if I can actually do that dress, or if I'm gonna have to do a shirt. We'll see. This is the dye that worked, in case you wondered. Okay, so I measured it, and it's 72 by 70, so roughly 2 yards. And I want to do it where the ruffle for the bottom is made out of the scalloped edge, which means I've got to get the dress out of this like insert part. So I'm using Simplicity 3230, and I went ahead, I purchased it on the Simplicity website, and I purchased it as a PDF pattern so I could just print it out. So this is the pattern I'm using. It's just a very simple dress. I cut off the short size, but I think if I do a ruffle, it's going to be even shorter. I just want to make sure that the ruffle that I add doesn't hit like right under my butt. So when I sit, I don't want to sit on the top of the ruffle. So I got to keep that in mind. This is on the fold here. This is not, but if I can get it on the fold so I don't have to have a seam, I will. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so after some measuring myself in a mirror, I've decided I want a 10-inch ruffle. So, and you'll see the waistline is there, so that's a good distance below my waist. So a 10-inch ruffle, so I went ahead and just cut 10 inches off my pattern on both sides. Twix is having way too much fun with the tape measure. So if I do this, here's my front on the fold. This gives me 10 inches there that I can cut all the way there. Here's my back. I won't be able to put it on the fold. If I put it on the fold, well, maybe I could. If I put it on the fold, I couldn't use ruffle from up here, but this amount of ruffle twice, because it's folded in half, may be enough. I need to measure the bottom of this and double it, because it's a pretty big ruffle. So I measure here and here, double it because this is only half, and then double it again. If this is enough here and here for that measurement, I can move this to the fold and I won't have to use this up here for ruffle. If I need this, I'm just gonna have to move this here, put a seam up the back. That's still 10 inches, if that makes sense. Let me measure. Score. Okay, so I measured the circumference of the bottom of the dress is gonna be 64 inches. So we already know that's 72 inches long. So really, I don't even need this. All I need is both of those pieces there. And then that's more than double. So that's perfect. So really, I could go ahead and move this all down, cut my ruffle here, and then that would give me extra fabric up here that I could use for something else. Let's see. Yeah, that would be brilliant. I would just cut off the scallops here, cut this out. The lining is just going to be these two pieces, which I have 2 yards of, so that's plenty. Cut, because this is folded in half, so cut 2 10-inch strips, or 1 10-inch strip all the way up here. That would give me 2 pieces 10 inches, and then I'd have all of this in between and this over here that I could use for something else. This is where I hate to put stuff on the floor, but my table in my sewing room is not big enough. So sometimes you just have to lay it out. You have to play around with it. Decide. I hate wasting fabric and stuff. So especially something like this, it's a black lace that I could use for something else, even if it was just for an accent piece or something on another garment. And because of the the pattern in it, it could even be like cut out and done as appliques or something. So this is definitely gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut out my pattern pieces, cut out my strip, cut out my lining, and then I'm gonna make the dress the way it calls for. I'm not gonna do pockets in this because the pocket actually goes like there to there, so it kind of goes off the pattern piece. I'm not gonna worry about the pockets. Do the lining, so I'll make the whole thing the way the pattern says. There's a slit up here at the top, but since I'm going to cut it on the fold, I will just actually make the slit. I can cut the slit and do it like with bias tape or something. And then there's a piece that goes around the edge, like a bias tape around the edge and the armholes and everything like that. And then just gather the ruffle and put it on. So I think this is gonna work. Okay, so I've sewn together the top portion. I've done French seams, and of course did the armholes, and then or bound the armholes, and then decided, I should probably try this on. So I did. And yeah, it like goes down so low that like the whole side of my bra shows. So I need to take it up like almost 3 inches on each side. So, which kind of leaves me in a quandary because, I mean, normally to do this, you would just, you know, okay, put them together, you'd start here and then just sew all the way down. So, I don't know on this if that is going to leave me enough room in the sides. So, what I'm going to do is I've gone ahead and unpicked the edging on this one side, and I am just going to pin a line as far as like how I would sew it, and I'm gonna go pretty steep. Instead of going gradually out, I'm gonna go not quite as gradually. The worry here is that you're going to end up with a bump kind of before it goes down. So, yeah, I might have it go a little bit more gradual. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this on both sides. And then I'm going to try it on. I'll try it on inside out. That way the pins don't really stick me. And I'm going to see how it looks on, and if it still fits me everywhere and it's flowy like I like it, you know, it's not too, doesn't make it too constricting, then I'll just go ahead and redo this as a new side seam. Just got to make sure that I do it the same on both sides, and then also transfer that to the lining, because you don't want to end up obviously with lining that doesn't match. And then I had originally bound my armholes because I was going to have the lining as a separate piece and only attach it to the neckline. And I still think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have it as a separate piece. I did go ahead and cut my little slit here. And I'll do the same on the back. Now just double check if you're going to do it this way with a slit like this, and then I would just right sides together, sew around it, flip inside out. Double check that you're actually putting the back with the back and the front with the front. Because there's really, the pattern piece, there's very little difference. There's a little bit of a difference up here in the neckline. And then there's the difference here because the back armhole actually has more fabric than the front armhole because your back is different. So if you put like, if you flip it around and the back of the lining is under the front of your dress, then you're going to end up seeing your lining on the outside of your dress. So just keep that in mind. So I think this will work just fine. I've done this before on other things. And I intentionally sized up because I'm kind of in between a medium and a large. So I did a large. So this should be fine. But I'm just going to try it on, double check that it fits and I like it. And then re-sew both my side seams. Attach. This is the binding piece that was in the pattern that I just did out of the lining fabric. So then I'll just reattach that, cut it off and make it smaller, do the same thing to the other side, add my ruffle, do all that, and we should be good to go. I love how this dress came out. It's very wearable. I can wear a bra with it. Dress it up with heels, dress it down with boots. And to think that, you know, it cost me $2 plus, you know, the dye and my time, just to kind of make something using inspiration from a designer, from something that's so expensive, but turning it into something that is all me, that I can wear. So I hope this inspires you. If you haven't subscribed, hey, hit that subscribe button for more great videos, and happy sewing.